Right, good afternoon. So we started HTML in the previous class, and I have explained some related information about HTML. So I have introduced HTML, right, because HTML is a language which has some features. So I explain about such things. So let me remind them quickly because there may be some students who were absent in the last class. So I have to explain, or I have to rather remind them. So let's take them quickly because we have to start doing the HTML practicals today. So take them quickly. First one, HTML is a markup language. What is it? Markup language means it's a language used for displaying some contents on the web page, on the screen. So it is not a programming language. Here we don't solve any problems. We instruct our browser about how to display the content, how to display the picture, how to display the paragraph, maybe a table and other things. Okay, right. That is the second point. It is not a programming language. Third one. Look, in order to use HTML, you have to install a text editor in your computer because HTML must be applied in a text editor. There are a number of text editors available. You have to install one of them. So we have Notepad, gedit, TextEdit, or even Notepad++ can be used. So there are some text editors. Okay, that is the third point. Next one, in HTML, tag is the basic building block. If you want to show any content on the web page, you must use tag. So in short, tag is a kind of command which gives instruction to web browser. So I have explained how a tag looks like, right? So hope everyone remember today we have to use it. Okay. Then I explain about the closing tag and starting tag. So most of the tags in HTML are in pairs. There is a starting tag and there is a closing tag. I have explained the reason for having both of them. And also I have explained how these two tags are written. Okay, I have shown rather. Then I think I explained this one also. Tag in HTML is not case sensitive. So you may use small letters or capital letters, even you can mix them for tag. There is no issue at all. The spelling must be spot on. You have to write the correct spelling, but case is not a problem. So it is not case sensitive, right? Okay, let me give one more point before we start doing HTML related practicals. Look, once the HTML coding is written, it must be saved as a web page. Because look, you write the HTML coding in a text editor. So if you save your coding in a normal way, then you know it must be taken as a notepad file. Assume that you are writing the HTML coding in a notepad. So if you save that coding in notepad, definitely that file will be taken as a notepad file. This is called text file with the extension txt. So after saving your notepad or after saving your coding, what happens if you open that? It will be open in Notepad. That is the usual thing, right? It will be opened in Notepad. But the reason for writing the HTML in Notepad is not to open in Notepad. It is for displaying as web page. So when you save your HTML coding in Notepad, you must add file extension HTML, right? HTML or even HTM. That is also possible. HTM with the file name. Okay, I can show you when we do practicals. So when the file is saved, it must be saved with extension HTML or HTM. Okay, remember them, they are very important. Okay, so now these introductions are enough. So let's start creating the first page. So what I'm going to do is going to create a simple web page with one or two content, not a complex web page, because this is the initial time. So we have to understand the structure and everything of HTML. So we can go gradually, right, from the very basic to some sort of advanced things, right? Okay. Look, one more thing. Once an HTML coding is written, you have to view your output, which means you have to view your web page. To view a web page, you cannot use Notepad. You cannot use a text editor because web pages are often displayed on web browsers. We already studied that thing in unit number 3, right? Web pages are displayed on web browsers. So even though the HTML coding is written in a text editor, it is important to have at least a web browser in the computer. So you must make sure that your computer has one of the web browsers. Since most of us use Windows operating systems, Internet Explorer is there by default. Internet Explorer is there. It is from Microsoft, right? You can use it. Or you may download some other web browsers, some of the other convenient web browsers to view the web page. You have Google Chrome or Firefox from Mozilla, Opera, Edge from Microsoft, anything, right? You need one of the web browsers. Okay. So before I start writing the HTML coding, I will show a web browser first, because we should know where the content displayed on the web browser, or we should know some of the components of web browser. So let me open a web browser and try to introduce one or two sections on the web browser, right? Look here. I just want to open Google Chrome, not the other ones, Google Chrome. So I have Firefox, Chrome, right, Edge and other things. Okay, let me open, this is Chrome. You know that. Okay, look here. Now see that Chrome, which means Microsoft, Google Chrome is opened. Okay, this is from Google. Google Chrome is open. But at the moment, there is a page displayed. As you can see, there is some content available, some icons and other things, because in my computer, in my web browser, Google website or Google search engine has been set as a default search engine. That's why there is something on the web browser. But if I don't set any search engine as default, it will be a blank page. You cannot find anything. There must be only a blank page. But now I can see Google and other icons. It is because of the default search engine. Okay, I have said that in most of the computers, we set Google as search engine by default. But if I remove that, it will be blank. Whenever I open browser, Chrome browser, it will be blank. Okay, right. So now look at the top side. I hope that you can watch my mouse movement. Look at the top part. This area is called title bar of the browser. You can see that one, right? This area is called title bar. On the title bar, you have close button and other buttons. So this is title bar. On the title bar, we have tab. We studied about tabs in unit number 3. So I'm on one tab. So if I click this plus button, there will be another tab open. So modern browsers have tabs in order to show multiple web pages simultaneously. Okay. So on the top, you have the title bar. On the left side of the title bar, you have the tab. Okay, right. Then we have the address bar. This is where you have to type the URL. But here we will not use this one because we create the web page in our local computer, which means in our computer. So there is no need for typing the URL or typing a path because we can directly open the page. So it may not be useful for us now. Okay, that is the address bar, everyone knows. Then this is the most important part. This is where the page is displayed. As I told you earlier, generally it must be a blank page, right? But here we are able to see something because it is a default search engine. So this area is called body of the web browser. Okay, body of the web browser, because this is where the web page content is displayed. Okay, so on the top you have the title bar, and then the main area is the body of the web page. These two areas are enough at the moment. We don't want to find any other things now. There may be some other components found, right, such as some toolbars and some other settings and available. They are available, but for us, these two important areas are enough. Okay, title bar and the body, right? So now look here, what I'm going to do is, because it is the first one, what I'm going to do is going to display a text on the title bar. You know what title bar is, or where the title bar is. On the title bar, I want to show a particular text or phrase. And on the body of the web page, I just want to show another text. So I want to display only two sentences or two phrases, one on the title bar of the browser. The other one is displayed or will be displayed on the body of the web browser. Okay, so this is my output. So my output seems to be, assume this is the web browser. Okay, so this is the title bar. You have close button and other buttons. So here I want a text like my home or something, my home or my home page. Okay, my home page. This phrase needs to be displayed on the title bar. So I don't want to show the address bar and other things. So assume this area is the body. Okay, this is the body. On the top, you have the title bar, right? Title bar. So on the body of this web browser, I just want a particular phrase or sentence, like, let's say, welcome to our website. Okay, welcome to our website. So these are the two expected content to be created or to be developed. Okay, my home page, that must be displayed on the title bar. Welcome to our website, that must be displayed on the body of the web browsers. Right, let's see. So sometimes for some coding, I just want to work with the computer, maybe as well as on the board, because I feel that some coding needs to be explained on the board, then only you can understand. But at the same time, you have to see them on the web browser as output, then only you can easily compare the compare the coding and the output. Because when we compare the coding along with the output, we can understand something. We can justify our thinking, right? But if I show only the coding on the board, sometimes it is tough to imagine the output. So for most of the programs, I will write the coding in the computer and show the output. But in some instances, in addition to writing in the computer, I will write on the board because I need to explain, right? Okay, let's see. So I hope everyone has that idea, right, output in the mind. So I'm going to create it. Okay, look here. So first of all, I need a text editor. It may be Notepad or Notepad++, anything. But I just want to use Notepad, as I told you earlier, because Notepad++ may be easy for handling because it has some user-friendly features. But since we are the beginners, we just want to do everything from the beginning, right? We don't want some sophisticated or some convenience things. We want to do everything as our own, right? So by our own. So better I just open a Notepad. Okay, Notepad. You may go to the search and type Notepad. Okay, this is the Notepad GUI. It's a very small, it's a very plain and less featured interface. you cannot find many options there, only few options. And even if you click, you can find only few things. So actually this is only for editing the text. It is not a word processing software, right? It is just a text editor. Okay, right. So every HTML, let's start writing the HTML coding. So every HTML coding start with a tag called HTML. Okay, every HTML coding starts with this one. It is must. Okay, so this tells the browser that the coding is started here, that the document or that the web page is started here, right? But definitely at one stage it must be closed. Later we will close it. You know, this is the starting point. This is for indicating the starting point. So the pair, which means the closing HTML tag should be entered at last, right? Not now, but sometimes people use this technique. As soon as they type this starting tag, they immediately type the closing tag and press the enter key and leave somewhere. Because sometimes as people, we started a particular tag, but forget to close it. Because when I start, I remember that. I know it must be closed at one point, but without noticing, because we will be working with multiple tags. So sometime without noticing, we may forget to close one tag. So in order to avoid such issue, as soon as a tag is started, better close it. And if you don't want to close at that particular moment, press the enter key and push it down. Later you can consider that, right? That may be one of the technique used. But since we are writing a very small page, I just want to skip it. I just want to continue the coding. Later we can close it. Okay, so you may use any method, right? So I have entered HTML because to start the coding. One more thing, every coding, every line which will be written here will be understood by the browser to display the output. Here everything is the web browser. You know, in Pascal, the program that you have written was read by a compiler and executed. So translator was very important there, right? But here it's all about your browser. Browser has to understand every line and perform the output. Okay, so now look at your output. So your first output will be this one. My home page will be displayed on the title bar. So in order to show anything on the title bar, you have to start a tag called title. Okay, to show a text on the title bar, you have to use a tag called title. T-I-T-L-E, title, right? Okay. Now see, I have entered this tag because to show a phrase on the title bar. So what's the phrase to be shown on the title bar? My home page. So now, as soon as you have started this tag, type the phrase to be displayed. Okay, my home page. My home page. Okay, so in order to show this text, I have entered title tag. So now think practically. Ask yourself, why did you enter this tag here? What's the reason for entering this tag here? In order to show this title. Okay, so now the reason for starting this tag is over because we have given that phrase. So now this tag is no longer needed. So it is the time to tell your browser that title is over, which means I have just typed the title. So now don't forget, as soon as you type the title, you have to close this title. I repeat again, this this tag is given here in order to show a phrase on the title bar. This is the phrase to be shown on the title bar. So that's the reason why we have entered this tag. But now what happened? The phrase which has to be displayed on the web browser's title bar is entered, is given. So the purpose for having this tag is over. So now you have to tell your browser that the title is ready or title is displayed. Now you have to close it. Okay. So now maybe here or maybe in the next line, you have to close the title. This is how it is closed. So this is the starting tag. This is the closing tag. In between these two, you have my home page. So that will be on the title bar. So even you can write the title here. This is also possible. Okay, it would be better if you write in the same line because it may give a clear idea, because you have your text in between the starting tag and the closing tag. So whatever between these two tags will be on the title bar. Okay, right. So now the top part is over. We have written the coding to display my home page. Okay, right. Now focus on the body of the web browser. So on the body of the web browser, we have to show welcome to our website, right? Welcome to our website. So let's go to the coding again. So now I must show something on the body of the web browser. In order to show something on the body of the web browser, you have to start in the tag. Okay, another tag, body. This is the tag. See, fortunately, most of the tags, almost all the tags in HTML are meaningful. So you can easily remember. Yes, you have to memorize the tag, but memorizing or keeping them in your mind is very simple because they are meaningful. Look here, title, because I wanted to put the title there on the title bar. That's why it is title. Now I started body because hereafter I will show something on the body of the web browser. So that's why it is body. Right? Look, we started title and we closed. But still, the HTML tag is not closed. You may wonder why, because title is closed, but not HTML. But HTML was started earlier, but not closed yet. So you may wonder, but yes, you can understand the purpose for having or starting this title is over, because to show the title on the title bar. But the purpose of starting this HTML is not yet over. This is for the starting point. So closing tag should be indicate the closing point, maybe the ending point. But still we are writing. We need to show some content on the web browser, right? Still we have some lines to be written. Therefore, we cannot close the HTML right now. Okay, so remember that, right? So now we are in the body. So it's very simple. So inside of the body, see, we want to show welcome to our website. So give this phrase in the body tag. That's enough. If you want to show one word, type the one word in the body. If you want to type 2 words, type 2 words, or 4 words, type 4 words. So now I must type, maybe in the next line, that particular phrase, welcome to. Okay, welcome to our website. This is the phrase to be shown. Okay, welcome to our website. So I want only this sentence to be displayed on the body. I don't want to display any other things. I just want only this line. So again, think practically. Why did you start this body? In order to show something on the body of the web browser. So now you have done that, right? You have typed which you wanted to display. So the purpose or the reason for inserting this body tag is over now, because you have done it, right? You have typed the text. So that body is no longer available because we don't have any other contents to be displayed. So this body is no longer needed. So close the body. How? Again, the same manner, put a slash, / and type body. Okay. So on a web browser, you have the title and the body part. There is no other parts displayed, right? So now you have to close the HTML file. So on the top, you have this HTML tag for indicating the starting point. So finally, there should be another HTML tag, which means the closing HTML tag in order to show the closing point. So here, HTML must be closed /HTML. Okay, so this tag is closed at last. Right. So let's save our work and see the output first. After that, I will explain some other things in this particular coding, right? So we must go to the file and see we have save as, right? Save as. This is the normal save, right? You don't need to worry about this. Click on save as. Right. So you have to select the location first. Okay, let me zoom that dialog box. Right, look here. It's a general save as dialog box. So there you have to select the location. So by default, it shows desktop. I just want to create a folder on the desktop. So I just click on the new folder because we will do many practicals. So that's why I'm creating a folder here. Let's say 11, grade 11, English medium 2021. This is my folder. Okay, I have opened the folder now. So inside of this folder, I just want to save this. Okay, I have to give a file name. Okay, a file name needed. So give me a file name. So let's say I just want to give home. This is my file name, home. Right? So click on save. Okay, let's see the folder again. Let's see the folder. Let's see the location, right? I have saved this. Let me close it. And this is my folder. Grade 11 English medium 2021. I open it. Right. Look. This is the file, but look here. This is home.txt. Right? Home.txt. Because it has been saved as a notepad file, because I have written the coding in the notepad and saved it. So now it must be a notepad file, which means text file, right? You can see that. Look at the extension, txt. So what happens if I open, it will be open as a text file, or it will be open as a notepad file. Look at that. Let me open that. See, it opens in notepad. But I didn't create, or I didn't write this coding to open in a notepad. I expected a web page. So you must be very careful when saving your work. When saving your coding, you must convert your notepad, or you must convert your text into a web page. So let me save again, go to the file and save as. Okay, so this time, right, this time, okay, location has been set. Give the file name. Okay, I can give home, but don't forget to add the text, extension, file extension. So yes, I can type home dot, right, dot HTML. Earlier, I did not add any extension. That's why it was saved as txt file. But now, what I'm doing is I'm converting this text file into a web page. The HTML file means a web page. So home.html. But if you miss the HTML, then it must be saved. Look at that. Save as type. Save as type text document. So if you miss the HTML extension, definitely it must be saved as text file. Right? So now I have converted this as HTML. Click the save button. Now we can go and check the folder, check the location. Look here. Okay, let me close this file. Right. Now see, you have home.html. The other one is not the file which this was created earlier. So I don't want this. I can delete that. Okay, I have deleted. Okay, this is my web page. But look here, this web page has the icon of Google Chrome. Right, this is the icon of Google Chrome. So you may wonder why the Google Chrome icon is there. Because we have multiple web browsers. See, I have Firefox, Chrome, Edge, Internet Explorer. All these browsers are installed in my computer. But even though we have all these browsers, it shows only the Chrome browser as the icon. The reason is, even though you have multiple web browsers, this has been set as the default web browser, right? This was set as the default web browser. Even you may change the default web browser. If you think that Firefox is good, you can go to the control panel and make the change. There is a setting available for changing your default softwares, right? So now at the moment we have Google Chrome because that is the default browser. So let me double click on it and open. Right, now look at this output. So now I got my expected output. Look at that. On the title bar, we have my home page. Even you can say title bar or on tab, right? Tab, title bar, almost same. My home page. This is the body of the browser. Earlier, you could see some icons and Google search engine or something, but now everything gone. It is a blank page. There you have only the text. It would be better I have zoom in. So let me zoom this. You can see that output. See, welcome to our website. Okay, so I have done the task, right? So I expected to display my home page on the title bar, and also I expected this phrase on the body. So I did both of them. Okay, but before comparing the coding with this output, I must tell you one thing. I just want to modify my coding. So look here, I just want to minimize this. I just want to minimize, not to close it. Okay, just minimize it, which means still open, but open on the taskbar, right? So it is still open on the taskbar, right? Look, now I just want to see the coding again for modification. So I have to see the coding. But what happens if you double click? It will be open on a web browser like this. Okay. So how to see the coding or how to check the coding? You have to open this in a notepad or in any other text editor. So simply you can right click, right, and go to the open with, and select the software that you need. Select the text editor that you need. I just want notepad, so click on notepad. See, I got my coding back. Okay, right, look here. Listen to me, I just want to explain another thing. Right, so I just restore my my web browser. Earlier it was in full screen. Now I have restored in a small size. Look here, because I just want to compare the coding and the output. That's why I'm showing side by side. Right, look. To display the title on the title bar, you need a tag called title. Okay, everyone understands. But in order to show a title on the title bar, we always add another tag called head. Right, there is a tag head is added before the title. Before you start title, you have to add head. But it doesn't mean that head is the responsible tag for showing the output. No, even without head also, right? Without head also, you could see the title. So try to understand, in order to show the title on the title bar, you need title tag. But there is one or two reasons for having head in front of title. But without head also, you can see the title on the title bar. Okay, I tell you the reason for having head. There may be one or two reasons. The first reason is, actually head is to indicate the header part of the web browser. you know, this is the body part of the this is the body part of the web browser. Maybe that the place on which the title bar is located can be taken as the header part, right? This is the header section. This is the body section. So now we are trying to show something on the header section, right? Because title bar is on the header. So since we are trying to show something on the title bar, we can say that it is in the header part, right? So that may be the reason why I have to start head here, because to indicate the header section. So now put the head and thereafter give you a title. You cannot close your head immediately, because you cannot close your head like this, because you inserted this head here in order to indicate the title bar area, because title bar belongs to the header part. So now, even though you started this head, you cannot close it. You have to wait until things are over in title bar. So this is the only line related to title bar. So once it is over, you can close the head section. Clear? So title bar is in between to head, because title bar is available on the header section. Okay, but even if you miss the head, definitely you can see the output on the title bar. Because see, I could have started head earlier, but I didn't want to insert head earlier, because I just wanted everyone to understand that title is displayed only by title tag. What happens if I started head earlier? So sometimes you may think that title is displayed in because of head, or because of head and title. No, title is displayed only by title tag, but head can be added because it is the title bar is available in the header section, right? So when you write HTML, you can keep head always, right? Even though it is not important for you, maybe for basic coding, you can include it in your coding. But see, head is very useful some in other instances, particularly when HTML file is connected with some other files that may be slightly advanced. It is not in our syllabus. We can externally link some other language files with the HTML. We have some other languages like CSS. CSS is a language to design web pages. So sometimes you can you can write some coding in CSS language. That must be another file and can link with this HTML file. In that case, there must be some line to be written inside of the header section for linking the files. For linking the file, you need some coding that must be written in header section. But here we don't have any external files, so that may not be important. Clear? So this is the reason why head is added. But since we don't have any external files here, head can be ignored, right? Even without head also you can get the output, right? Okay, remember that reason. See, now even after inserting this head, there is nothing on the output. Okay, let me save this. I just want to save it, not save as, because what happens if I make change and save new files? There may be several files, but I just want to make this change in the same file. So go to the file and save. Same file, home.html. But see, I already opened the web page. So what happens if I close? Then I have to open again. That takes time. So just minimize it. And now it shows only the previous coding, right? Previous output. In order to see the new output, you have to refresh it. There is a button called refresh or reload. So now once it is clicked, the newly added coding, which means your modified coding, will be taken into account, right? So now click on it. See, there is no different outputs. So there is no difference between this output and the previous output. So which means head is not important here. Okay, right. So now let's take the coding again and output. We have to compare the coding and the output and understand. Look here. Right, listen to me. See, in order to see or in order to display this title on the title bar, you need only this line. Okay, only this line. Title, then your title tag, then your title and closing title tag. But, sorry, but you can use head. So I can simply say this portion is the reason for having this output. Even though head is not the important thing, I take the head is I take the head because to indicate the header section. So because of this small portion of the coding, we are able to display my home page on the title bar. And look here, this is the body of the web browser. So in order to show this result, I just wanted this line, these 3 lines. Okay, body, then the phrase welcome to our website, then closing body tag. So I have only 2 outputs. For the first one, this portion of the coding is very important, header section. For the welcome to our website, this is the content. Actually, my home page is not the content. That may be displayed on the title bar. Content means the things displayed on the body of the web browser. So I have only one content, website, welcome to a website. That is the portion of this one, right? This is the portion. That's it, very simple coding. Okay, so here we used some tags. All the tags have pairs or have the closing tag. Look here, HTML, HTML, head, head, title, title, body, body. So we have used only 4 tags, HTML, head, title, and body. So these 4 tags will be repeated again and again in all the HTML coding. If you don't want the title on the title bar, then you can ignore that. But always we have title. Okay, I tell you the reason why the title is displayed on the title bar. See, the title is very useful in order to search some information using search engine. So always give a meaningful title to your web page. Say, assume this web page, right? This web page has information about your school history. Assume this is the web page of your school website. This web page has history of your school. So better to give a meaningful title on the title bar. Say history of X school, that school name, right? History of school, history of X school. Don't give meaningless names, so meaningless phrases, because when people search something, these names given on the title bar will be focused or will be considered by the web browser. We often search some phrases on the search engine, right? So when people search engine leads them towards these phrases, right? So always give meaningful sentences, and then only your web browser will be in the search result. Your web page will be in the search result. Okay, always meaningful names are preferred. Okay, right. Right, so now we know how to display one sentence on the title bar and one on the body of the web browser. So now I just want to show another sentence on the body of the web browser. Okay, let's say I just want to show HTML is user friendly. This is my second sentence. HTML is user friendly. I just want to show this sentence as the second sentence on my web page. So let's go back to my coding again. Coding, right? Right. Look here. Earlier, I had only one sentence in the body and able to display that on the screen. So now I thought, when having only one sentence in the body, that is displayed. So now I just wanted to have two sentences on the body of the browser. So now I think, okay, better to give another, better to give the sentence in another line, because when we have only one sentence, that was displayed on the body. So now we wanted two sentences on the body of the web browser. So I thought to insert in two lines. Okay, let me type in another line, HTML. Okay, sorry, HTML is user-friendly. User-friendly. Let's save my work. So I just want to save the existing file, save in existing file, click on save. And I already opened the web browser, but minimize it. Now I can refresh and see the result. I expected a different result, right? I expected them in two separate lines, but ended with one line. But look at the coding right here. I have written, right? I have written in two lines. But even though I have written in two lines, browser displays them in a single line. The reason is, see, when you type this second line, right? When we type the second line, we press the enter key at this point. I place the mouse pointer here and press the enter key. Then only I could type the second line. But even though you press the enter key and type in the notepad, your browser never understands whether you press the enter key or whether you press, even see what happens, even if you leave, say, now I am leaving some spaces using space bar. In fact, I have left five or six spaces. But look at the output. Let me show the output. Now output, see, nothing. But look at the output in between welcome and to. I left around 5 or 6 spaces, but look at the output. It shows only one space. So what does it mean? Your browser never understands those blanks that you left by spacebar. It understands only one space. Similarly, later we can work on them, right? We can discuss about how to leave more spaces in between words. But not now, but I just show this because to explain you the fact. So here, browser never understands these blanks left by spacebar. Even browser never understands the line which was broken by enter key. You press the enter key here and got the new line, but browser never understands. That's why browser shows both sentences in the same line. But now, I just want to tell my browser to break this line, right? To break this line at this point. At this point, the line has to be broken. Then only you can have the remaining line in the next line, right? In a new line. So let's go to the coding again. Listen. So now this may be the place in between the first sentence, right? In between the first sentence and the second sentence, line has to be broken. Am I correct? At this point, line has to be broken. So take the coding. So in between your first line and the second line, right? You can say this is the point, or even you can say this is the point. Maybe at the end of the first line also, in between the two lines, or maybe at the beginning of the second line also, in between the two lines. So you have to insert a particular tag to instruct your browser to break the line. So that tag may be inserted here or may be inserted here. Got the point? We have to break the line in between two, right? In between these two here. So we need to type a particular tag. Look here. I just want to type here. This is a tag to be used for breaking the line. So this is BR, okay, BR, which means line break, line break. The reason for inserting this BR here after the first sentence, because we have to break these two sentences in the middle of the two sentences, so in between the two sentences. this place is in between the two places. Even this BR can be written here, maybe beginning of the new line. Okay, so let's see the output. I have to save this and refresh. Now look at this. Now we got the output in two different lines. So we expected this answer and we got it. Check the coding again and compare. Look here. So you may wonder why the closing tag is not inserted. So as we discussed in the introduction part, most of the HTML tags are in pairs. Most of them, not 100%. There are some tags which do not have closing tags. So here, this is one of the examples for that. This BR tag, this line break tag doesn't have any closing tag. The reason is very simple. Look here. Look at the other tags used here. We have HTML in pairs. The reason is the starting HTML is for starting the document. Then lines are written. You know, at one stage, your document is closed. So there you have the closing tag. Even the head has the closing tag because we started the head, and there may be some lines written in the header, right? There may be some lines, maybe title bar, and as I told you earlier, some external files can be linked. So there may be some parts in the header section, and finally you have to say, okay, the header is over. So header started and some things included, and you have to wait until they are included. Finally, head should be closed. Look at this. Title started, and it must be closed because there may be one word as a title, maybe 2 words or maybe 3 words. So you have to mention the title, closing title, when your title is over. According to my example, I have 3 words as title. So I must use the closing title bar after inserting these 3 words. Even see, look here, body. We started body, and there was a need for closing body because on the body, there may be many sentences written, right? So you have to wait for inserting all the sentences. Yeah, I have written 2 sentences and then body. Now think practically. BR is something which is totally against to them because BR for line break. So here, maybe at this point, right? At this point, we want to break it. So we can't say that we have to start the break and we have to continue something and close. This is not like that. Their title started and you have 1 word or 2 words or 3 words. So title continues and then you have to close it. You started the body, there may be many lines in the body and finally close it. But here, at this exact place, line has to be broken. So why do you use a starting and closing tag? If it is starting, the feature is started and it must be continued and ended at one stage. That is not the purpose for breaking, right? So that's the reason why you don't have any closing tag here. So look once again, the tags which don't have any closing tags can be called empty tags. Remember this word? There are tags which do not have closing tag. It is only one, right? Such tags can be empty tag. So when writing the empty tag, there is a method followed nowadays. You can put a slash here. This doesn't mean that it is a closing tag. For closing tag, the slash is in front. But for empty tag, you can add a slash after writing that particular element, right? But even if you miss that slash, it works, right? BR is definitely correct, but nowadays we use a slash there to indicate that it is an empty tag. Okay, now see the result. Now result will be same. Even though I have added a tag like this, there is no changes on the output. Look at that, it's same. Okay, so this is the very first time we got empty tag, one empty tag, that is BR. I just want everyone to understand the reason for not having the closing tag for BR. Okay, all the other tags in this example have closing tags, but this doesn't have. The reason is very simple. At a particular point, we want to break the line. So we don't want to start a particular feature and continue for a while, right? We want to break in a single point. That's why there is no closing tag used. Okay, only a starting tag, only a tag. Okay. So now we have two sentences in two lines. Even if you want to type another line, say you want to show another line. So yeah, let's say hello or something. Now, if you type hello in the next line, definitely it must be shown in the second line, because in the second line, you press the enter key here, right? You press the enter key here in order to go to the third line. In the notepad, I have pressed the enter key here, right here, and go to the third line. But browser never understands. Browser never understands that the enter key is pressed. So what happens? Hello will be taken here. That's why you have hello here. But if you want to use hello in the next line, or if you want to display the hello in the next line, you have to break again, maybe here or maybe here. Anything is okay, right? Here also you can put BR. Same thing. At the end of the second line, or maybe beginning of the third line. Now both the same. Now see, hello will be in the next line. Okay, so don't forget, this is the basic structure of the web page. You have a header section and you have a body section. Okay, so inside of the header section, you have a title. That must be a meaningful title. So I have the tag title here. And also this has the closing tag. Within the body, you have to display your content. Earlier, I wanted to display only one sentence. So there I couldn't face any problem. But when I wanted to show two sentences, I faced a problem, because even though I typed both of them in separate lines in the notepad, but browser has shown both of them in a single line. The reason is browser never understands those spaces. So I mean, pressing enter key or something. So browser shows everything in a single line. But if you want to show your lines in different lines, definitely you have to break the line. BR4, line break, that is empty tag. Okay, right. So we have to write these things, but not today, because we don't have enough time. At the same time, as I told you earlier, I will not send any soft copy for this unit, because we have to do practicals. At the same time, we have to write something on the board in order to explain something. So today I don't have enough time to, allow you to write it. But definitely I will post this on the YouTube. Try to write this one first, right? Maybe you have to write the output first and then coding. You don't need to draw a big browser or maybe a real browser. Just put a small diagram like this, maybe a basic block diagram, small rectangle, and put a title bar and write the title on the title bar and the content. Okay, and thereafter write the coding. Coding also shown. You may go through the YouTube, or I try to put it on in the group. So just copy it down. We can modify this one later, right? I just want to modify this coding in the next class. Okay, so that's it. That's it for today. Please send your names